guys. You join me on a Tuesday, the 8th of June. Just had a good Memorial Day week off. Spent some time with the family, helped a friend move. So I stayed busy throughout the week. Didn't really get to do too much work on the truck, just cleaned it up and whatnot. Didn't even get to wash it because there was some weather moving in. But anyways, I got back to work yesterday on Monday. I was hoping to find myself something decent. I had one load basically booked first thing on Monday morning going down to South Alabama. It was a pretty good load, but the guy later called me and said that the customer canceled it and pushed it back to tomorrow, or today now. And so I ended up passing on that. Consider taking a load out to Portland, Oregon that was also paying pretty good and would give me a chance to sort of see the West Coast. But honestly, I didn't really want to go out that way because the Pacific Northwest is a very bad place to be in terms of work. So I probably would have done it if they said it was available, but by the time I called, they said that the phone call before me was the one that booked it. So maybe that's for a good reason. So I ended up sitting around. I was really struggling to find decent work coming out of Knoxville after that. After about 5 o'clock, after about lunch, I found a really good paying load coming out of Atlanta going up to Baltimore for tomorrow, or for today. And so I ended up booking it because it wasn't that far away. It was like 160 miles away. And I was like, you know what? I'll just make a drive for tomorrow and do that. I'd rather haul something really good versus just sitting around, you know. I don't know. I didn't feel like sitting anymore. So I booked that one. Now I did find a little cheap partial that went over to Rome, Georgia. I'm going to Gainesville right now. But yesterday I picked up a little small partial load out of Knoxville that went to Rome, Georgia. Did not pay the greatest. I mean, it was still something like $3 something a mile. But when you're only driving 150 miles, you kind of need a pay that equates to a better, more hourly rate. So it was all right for what it was. It pays for me to get down here into Georgia. So I dropped that off yesterday. Stayed at the TA just outside of Cartersville, I think it was, and watched the rain move through. There was a lot of heavy rain that moved through that night. And now I'm on my way over to Gainesville to pick up a load of scaffolding. It's going to go up to Baltimore. And it's going to be a heavy load, full load. I think it's 24 feet of deck space, and they got quoted at 21,000 pounds. This truck is good for 24, and I'll have to watch how they load it because right at 22,000 pounds will be the max I can carry as far as the rear set axles. And so I'll have to make sure enough of the weight is to the front. That way it puts some of the weight on the steer axle. That's about the only way I could get away with 24,000. So just have to look to see how that is. Hopefully it won't be much of a challenge, but it's going to be heavy. The drive over to Baltimore's got some hills, so it's not super bad since you're running the valley and the Smokies. But it'll be a fun drive. Fuel economy is going to suffer a little bit, but it's okay because the rate's going to be paying for all that. I'm happy with what it is. It gets me back up to a good area, and hopefully I'll find myself a decent reload coming out of Baltimore for Wednesday. Should be dropping off early morning to around lunch hour on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. For now, we're just going to get over to Gainesville, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, here's the deal. I get over here to get loaded with the scaffolding, and guy comes out and says, "Where's the rest of your truck?" It's a full truckload, 48 foot, like something like 44,000 pounds. So they're trying to work with the customer to see if it could be split. I talked to the agent that set me up, and he just said, first of all, he got freaking pissed, and I don't blame him. He just instantly yelled, "Oh, I'll get you truck order not used," and hung up. So I haven't gotten to talk to him more, but we're waiting to see if they can split the load up, which if they do, then it'll be right around the dimensions that I was supposed to get. 24 feet long, 22,000 pounds, or 21, whatever it was. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting for that. This is just one of those challenges. Because you're dealing with a smaller truck, you never know what they're gonna throw at you. Although even if a Hotshot did this and they pulled in with a 40-footer, or even longer if they could support it, they wouldn't have been able to haul it. This is a semi-truck load is what they got. So, I don't know. See what happens. Hopefully they can get me something. If not, it's gonna be back to the board. And luckily in Atlanta, there's usually some good stuff coming out of here, but it's already pushing close to lunch hour, so that means there's not going to be much going on until after lunch. So I could just hope for the best. That's all I can say. We'll see what happens. Alright guys, so the load was a bust. They're gonna get another truck to haul it. I don't blame them, but at the same time it's frustrating. It is frustrating. Shit just, it happens. But I'm gonna drive, it's about 3 miles, going over to this little Circle K gas station. Sit put. Hope I can find something relatively quickly. Hopefully that's somewhat decent. They told me it was 15,000 pounds. That little thing is not 15,000 pounds. I'd be surprised. But we'll see what happens. Still use 4 chains, 4 binders. Good to have some redundancy. So. probably only 6, maybe even 5,000. Probably no more than a car, to be honest. So it is what it is. I gotta start looking again for more loads. There's just not a lot out there. Florida is a tough place to come out of. So we'll just see what happens. Alright guys, it's late in the evening. I just had myself some dinner. We're sitting over here in I don't know where we're at. Urbane, Florida. At the Petro. Ivory, Florida. One of those. At the Petro. Today was a rough day. I don't know how much of the footage I'm going to include, but it was a rough day. In short, the load that was going to take us to Baltimore canceled. Or, well, it didn't cancel. It was actually a full truckload load. And they didn't want to split it in half for me, so they kicked me off of that job. Kind of sucked because it paid good. And then had a customer call wanting a load going down to Florida, and I didn't really want to because it's Florida, but I went with it. It was paying alright, so it's just a little back trailer from like a rental place, so that's why I got. It's delivering in Orlando. They say it's a hot load, so I got to deliver it first thing in the morning. I looked all day trying to find a load out of Orlando that wasn't, you know, crappy pay. And towards the end of the day, I just gave up. I booked a load going up to just north of Pittsburgh, coming out of Jacksonville. It's not a good load, but small. So I was kind of booked it under the assumption that I would find something to go with it, because they don't need it till Friday. So find something to go with it to make it worthwhile. But what I did find towards the very end of the day was a bunch of brand new trailers that was power only. So it's a stack of 3 trailers. They're 25 footers, and they're picking up in Lake Whale, Florida. So I'm booked to pick up that. That's paying really good, so that'll make the trip. I'm booked to pick up that. I don't know where it's going yet because they weren't able to make a rate con because it's after hours. So I'm assuming I will get this load for tomorrow. But I'll get that. I'll find out where it's going. The problem is my little parcel that I have to pick up, they quit loading at 1:30. And to keep a long story short, by the time I get to Orlando, which is just shy of 2 hours away, I'm about an hour and 45 away. By the time I get there, unload, go to Lake Whale to get my trailers, and then drive all the way to Jacksonville, if everything goes smoothly, I'm going to get there at about 1 o'clock. So I got no time to spare. That means no issues can come up. So it's going to be a rough day tomorrow as well. It's going to be a lot of go, go, go. And it's just kind of crossing fingers that everything works out. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm not going to be able to make a video out of just this. This is probably going to get rolled into any of the stuff that pops up for tomorrow. So we're going to go with that. I'm probably going to cut out a lot of the stuff that happened today. I do have a lot of footage, but it's kind of repetitive. It's mostly me complaining. I'm not one to complain, but today was rough. So yeah, it'll probably be rolled together into some stuff for tomorrow. And hopefully things will go well, and I'll find myself, oh, the trailers are going up to just outside of Baltimore, not Baltimore, oh, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so it's up that way. So we'll drop off the trailers first, and then the little parcel goes out towards Pittsburgh. So if I can find something else to also throw on the truck as well, that'd be great, but that's going to be like the last thing I do, and I'm going to be real picky about that load. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, I guess I'll talk to you wherever I pick this up. So have a good night or day or whatever time of day it is for you. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. Hey guys, been a little while. Wanted to show you what I have before I disconnected, since I haven't done any video on this whole trip. So back up. That's what we carried. Picked both of these up in Florida. Trailers came out of Orlando. These came out of Jacksonville. We're up here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania right now, dropping off the trailers. Wanted to get some footage of it before I completely unhooked. Already taken some stuff off, but she was heavy. 26,000 pounds. Air brake trailer. Got 3 of them. And it was a good fun time. Those are railroad couplers, about 11,000 pounds in those. So all in all, I was looking at about, nice truck, looking at about 55,800 pounds total driving. And the truck did okay, but she wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan, I mean by like, I was a bit slow on the hills once I got into Pennsylvania, and I averaged probably about 4.5 miles to the gallon. So needless to say, I won't be doing these too often, but overall I can say it now because I made it. This setup is actually over length, and with that type of truck, because it's not a 5th wheel and it can haul cargo, it's not classified as a tractor, so I have to be 65 feet max length, and that right there is about 70. So I went through 5 weigh stations, never had a problem. Went over the scale, and either they're not looking for length or they don't really know their law too good. I should probably keep my mouth shut about that, but hey, we made it. So overall, not too bad. Pay was pretty good getting out of Florida, but honestly, after all the fuel that I've used, it's probably about the same as any other load that I would have hauled. So at least we got here. We're up in Pennsylvania. It's a Friday, so I don't know what all I'll explain in the end of this video as far as how the week went, but it was a hell of a week. So I'm gonna end it here and get this unloaded, get all my straps back. All those straps are mine. That was also the other thing, they required 4-inch handheld straps. I didn't know that, and Jesus, excuse me. And so they made me double up on my 2-inch straps. So even though those 2-inch straps have a working load limit of 3,300 pounds, they wanted me to double up on them. And so I have, like, between the chains that they wanted me to use and all 8 of my straps, I have like almost 30,000 pounds worth of securement on here. So I mean, hey, sure, I guess more is better, but damn, it took forever to get them all on there. But hopefully it won't take too long to get them all off. We'll see what happens. But that's that. I'm gonna get to work. That way I can shoot over to Pittsburgh to drop off those railroad couplers before the end of the day. So let me do that and talk later.